Okay, so you have $1,400 to spend. Most probably you will get a phone or any kind of laptop out of it. But you have specifically designed your mind to purchase a particular smartphone. Maybe you have not mentioned the company yet, but typically there are 70% of the chance you will choose an iPhone. Okay, let's take a case of an iPhone. You choose iPhone 15 Pro Max. There are lots of varieties in that. We have iPhone 15 Pro Max, we have iPhone 15 Pro, we have iPhone 15 Plus and iPhone 15. Obviously they have replaced just like mini with the iPhone Plus or iPhone 15 Plus. Okay, there is a question last in typically every particular smartphone company's mind. What was the last time when you have seen any of the mini display phones? Well, probably you haven't remembered it. But wait, it's common. It's actually common to not see the particular mini phone version or just like smaller display phone. Even if you take the larger tech giants, we are not talking about the smaller companies, but some of the larger tech giants just like Apple, Samsung, MI and all that, they all started reducing their quality product over small sized phone and eventually increasing the size of particular smartphone at any cost, at just like any of the costs. Okay, so there was a phase of smaller display phones starting from 2010 where it just started by you could say Samsung or Apple. In the starting days of Apple, where just like Apple 1 launched or Samsung's first flagship series launched, they all start with this mini display phone, but it's eventually started losing out. So eventually every time when any particular phone started increasing their flexibility, you could see one thing, that the company started making the phone more powerful processor, more powerful GPU, but at the end more powerful display, or you could say more greater number or size of display. Recent smartphone 6.2, iPhone you could say 6.2, Samsung S23 Ultra, it's also 6.3. So there are a lot more variation and eventual size of increasing the screen at this type of technological field, where you have lots of options, lots of varieties of smartphone to look at, to purchase out when you have $1,400 to spend. Just like there are a few points, starting with the market demand. As you have simply seen, there are a lot more reason demand for the smaller size phone. There's what you want to see a particular movie out of your phone. You don't have a laptop, or you have, but you want to see it in the phone. What you will use is mini display phone to watch your movie. It's absolutely not, because the content creation was definitely hampered due to the smaller size of the screen. You want to start a gaming, or you are actually doing gaming, supposedly any type of esports game or so on and on. You want a bigger display for playing vast majority of the game, because you want them to be at the level that you could attain it by playing the particular type of game, or you want that particular scenario to a phone so that you could perform well for that particular phone. And people eventually started thinking about this could happen only if your phone screen is bigger than your hand palm. It started increasing the size of the phone. Every individual phone increasing in the size of screen have a demerits in it. There are a lot, but let's talk about few of it. Just like if you take your phone out there outside your pocket, you want to check the notification with only one hand, not with the other, not using the other hand, because you're eating. Let's supposedly take you're eating something with one of your hand, and you wanna take out one of your hand and supposedly want to check WhatsApp notification or any kind of notification out there. There are a lot of possibility that your phone may fall off from your hand. And that's not about just like the thickness of the phone, the thinness of the phone, or camera bump and all that. That is because the display size is increased. Yeah, we know you want a lot of space for providing better battery, better camera setup, better productive ways, better processor out there, but the eventually increasing in the size of displays of every individual smartphone, it's gonna hamper a lot. And there's also few of the things, just like at eventual increased cost, the larger your screen, the larger your productivity increase. Yes, it's correct for some of the points. If you eventually scrolling your web and you want to read some articles or like that, the larger your screen, the best way you could view it and best way you could read it. There's a lot of things just like multitasking, etc., etc. You have seen Samsung S or you have seen Samsung Flip or Samsung Fold. Let's take an example of Samsung Fold. You have a bigger display phone, just like the palm, just like the amount of your palm. You have all the eventual multitasking applications, opening a browser one side, opening YouTube, opening your message, opening your WhatsApp. Eventually every individual thing you could open due to that bigger size of the screen. But do you actually use it in your day-to-day life? Actually, I'm not a big fan of multitasking, using one of my screen pad as a YouTube video and one of my screen pad is reading articles. I can definitely not able to focus on any of one of the things. But there's also some of the things which just like the designing of the smartphone, fitting of the processor, camera and all that, for that particular maintaining a constant user-based experience on that particular smartphone. Let me take an example. There is a Samsung S24 Ultra. You got seen a lot many things out there. You have seen multitasking, you have seen S Pen for writing it. You have a lot more application to view on, a powerful processor, a powerful camera for doing every individual thing. But have you ever used that, or you have ever been a requirement for that bigger size of the screen? Eventually your answer may be no or maybe yes, because there are a lot of people who wants bigger size of the phone. May be important for me, but may not be important for the other users who have small palms. Supposedly you have iPhone mini, you are using iPhone 11 mini, and you could use it more frequently with one hand because of your smaller palm. But if you eventually jump with iPhone 14 Pro Max at that bigger cost or that particular screen size, 6.2 or 5.2, there's a lot more difference using that iPhone mini to that iPhone 14 Pro Max. So at the end, we leave on to the conclusion that companies may not focus on creating more valuable things, but focusing on increasing the eventual size of your mobile phone. There's a graph of last year iPhone mini sale. You see, Apple eventually noticed a trend that just like decrease in eventual selling rate of every mini phones. So they dropped that particular idea of mini phones and introduced a new one, which is similar, which is probably the 100% similar with the last year's mini phones. And you know of what I am talking about. It's actually iPhone 15 Plus. And there's a lot of thing talking about the size of the phone, which is similar, but the amount of sale is eventually increased, not with the screen size where the screen size is same, but the name of the phone. So you got the name iPhone, last year iPhone 14 mini. There's a thing, people don't have any problem with the mini display phone, but people have problem with the name mini display or mini. That's what our conclusion is. And yeah, at the end, that's for today's video. I hope you enjoy watching this. Keep vibrating just like a quartz.